John.
All right. Bannock County Commissioners are back in session. We need a motion to go into this public hearing.
Mr. Chair, I move that we enter into the public hearing.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. This is a scheduled public hearing, the vacation of a portion of Sorrel Road. This hearing is for the public comment and is not a question or answer session. Everyone shall exhibit respectful behavior. There shall be no booing, hissing, or cheering. Please show respect for all opinions or comments made. Anyone deemed unruly will be escorted out of the building. Only one person may speak at a time and must be recognized by the chairman. Before speaking, if you would like to speak, we had the sign-up sheet, so we'll go with it. In addition, if you are angry or upset, that's okay, but please don't take your anger out on the commissioner, staff, or members of the public. Keep your voice calm and your comments to the matter at hand. So, written testimony, we do have one letter that we received from BLM, and that will be admitted as part of the record. We'll invite Mr. Clark, what's his name? Who's the applicant? Carter. Are you Mr. No, you're Quinn. Mr. Carter, is he here?
Right here.
Go ahead and come up and we'll let you have an opening statement. You have 3 minutes.
Sit right here.
Yep.
What am I doing? Okay, to give you a little bit of history, I'm from Pingree, Bingham County, and I'm a rancher. I purchased the Gilbert Ranch. It was in 2020, in the fall of 2020, beginning of 2021, we finally closed on it. And with the ranch, I purchased a bunch of grazing rights on the BLM along the way station freeway and up and through that area. And before I purchased this ranch, one of my main concerns was access to some of the vital parts of the grazing rights, watering troughs, and the management of the cattle went through a private person's property. And I called the county initially and asked them if there was a legal right-of-way for the public beyond the turnaround on Sorrel Road onto the BLM property. And they confirmed and said, no, there is no public access. The access ends with the road. And I also made a phone call to the Realty Department of the BLM, and they again confirmed that the BLM did not even have access through that private portion of property. And so one of my concerns as a rancher was that I could be blocked off from the access of some of these areas of management for my cattle on the BLM. Given the geography and the terrain, it's very impractical to ride up over the mountain from the freeway and to manage the cattle in that area, or to maintain any of the water troughs that are in that drainage. And so with that being said, I pushed really hard to purchase that private property and was successful. And anyways, I now own that parcel of property where the access ends, so that I, as a rancher, I have access into the BLM to manage my cattle. Subsequently, I purchased another piece of property below that. The Sexton family had homesteaded most of these areas, and the reason the county road goes up to where it does is because that's where the original home site was for the Sexton family. And so there's a spring there, they developed that. And so the county road continued up to their house, but it did not continue past their house to public land. In the first few months that I owned the property, I realized that I might be in for a headache with the public up there. I purchased the property. I think we signed on it in January. Within the first 3 months, I had been up there, working on an area and had rifles shot in my direction on my property. I encountered intoxicated people, sometimes intoxicated people with guns, and trash, couches, people dumping all over the place. And then to culminate that, in the spring, someone went up there on a Sunday to light a campfire, and the fire got away from them. And somehow the fire department found out about it fast enough, and they were able to contain the fire to 3 or 4 acres of damage. But all these things had happened in a short amount of time. I thought, oh boy, is that my time?
That's your time.
Okay.
Okay. Comments from staff?
Hal Jensen, Planning Director, Bannock County. You have the applicant's application before you and the appeal and the request for annexation. Vacation. What did I say?
Annexation.
Annexation. Sorry, it's been a week of Mondays already. If you have questions for us relative to anything from a legal standpoint and the county's position, we could answer any of those questions. At this point, I believe the vacation request is across his property only. And you have, of course, the letter that was sent and received yesterday from BLM. Beyond that, we have not, to the best of my knowledge, we have not received any other written or email conversation.
Okay. Thank you. I'd invite you two to go back into the audience. Looks like Blaine is signed up to speak. Jason, you want to come up to your chair? Please introduce yourself and
All right, good morning. I'm Blaine Newman. I'm the field
you'll have
manager.
3 minutes.
Okay. I'm Blaine Newman, the field manager with the BLM Pocatello Field Office. I'll try not to repeat everything that's in our letter, but I wanted to just explain a few things. Mr. Carter had asked for us to provide a letter if we have an easement or not, and it's our understanding that the county road goes to the turnaround. So if that's the case, the BLM doesn't take a position on whether the road's vacated or not. If it is incorrect, if it did reach the BLM, we would oppose it, and any time there's access to public lands, we would oppose giving any of that up. So there may be some coming down the road that's of concern. But we do have a need to administer BLM during his grazing period. That's part of his grazing permit, that we can cross his property and he can cross BLM on an existing road. That's his grazing permit's a 6-week period. We do request, we have requested, talk to him informally, asking for a reciprocal right-of-way, which would clean that up for both us and him, would allow BLM staff only, wouldn't be a public access, would allow us to get in to administer, do compliance checks for grazing, do compliance checks for a right-of-way. The neighbor to the north of him does have a right-of-way with us. And that's what we would ask for, use of the road outside his operation with grazing, which is majority of the year. But mainly, just wanted to, for clarification, it's our understanding that the road does end at the turnaround, which doesn't reach BLM. If it did, we would have a different position. We just say no position on this. Since our plan in 1995, we would said we'd likely open that road if we ever acquired legal access, and it's under our understanding we don't quite have it. So, okay. Anyway, and then if you had any questions, if not, I think that's all I've got.
Not at this point. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bart?
So I'm here on behalf of the Daving Leila Cornell Family Trust that owns the property to the south of Mr. Chase and borders the road on both sides, Sorrel Road going down. And we're not asking for road closure at this time, but we just wanted to say we're in support of this proposal to close the road further up there. There's no BLM access or public property access off through our property or off of that road through our property either. So we'd be in support of that.
Okay. Questions for staff or the applicant?
Kyle, do you have any thoughts on this?
So when I talked to Kyle Burmester, Public Works, when I talked to Mr. Carter about it. My only concern was what it connected to and who else would be involved. What has been kind of shown is everyone that's in that area has written a letter of affirming that they're in agreements with it. The one big thing that we tried to research the most was the BLM access. And as Mr. Newman said, I have not found any proof either to show that the road actually made it to BLM.
This isn't a road that you maintain during the winter, is it?
No, it's a very low maintained road.
And I guess that's part of my question is, why do we claim that as a county road? If public has no access whatsoever, why are we claiming a long driveway into private property? I mean, I have a stack of papers this big on my desk down there and a map of Bannock County, and it shows all the properties, and people come in and buy the land on both sides. They shut it off to the public, but we're still maintaining the road as a driveway, basically, into these properties.
And that was a conversation I had with Chase on if there is no access, then why are taxpayers paying to maintain a road to private land? So
Webb
that's what kinda
Canyon,
started it.
we pay, it's our culvert and but it goes into private property and it's a driveway. I mean, I think it's something that we need to look at as a county, as we shouldn't be maintaining access to people's private properties.
How many of you started to compile a list of those? Hal or Kyle, one of you have?
Yeah, I've been working on what we have.
And so it is our intent to go through roads just like this throughout the whole county and begin to vacate.
Yes,
that
and that's
stuff.
where Blaine kind of mentioned a little bit, there's some other ones that we're looking at also that have access to just private property, or does BLM, is it accessing any of the other government entities?
And then I guess, Mr. Carter, would you come back up, please?
Yes.
So by vacating this, we're not blocking any other access to private property.
There's two landowners who have easements through my property, and their easements will continue with the vacation. And they've both written letters of affirmation. They've had the same problems I have with, once people can enter your property, they're, unsurveilled. It's not a place we can live in and stay year-round. And so a lot of negative things happen on their properties as well as mine, and they all would like, to see this closed down.
Well, I can tell you that is a very busy road at sometimes. When I worked at the cement plant, I worked a lot of nights. And it was a very busy road at 2 o'clock in the morning for some odd reason. Like I say, I have concerns about shutting down access on roads and turn them into private properties. But I also have concerns about the county maintaining driveways. To me, it's a long, long driveway if we shut it down to public access, because there's nothing on either side of the road
Right.
except private property. So,
No, I'm comfortable.
John? All right, thank you. Ask for a motion to come out of the public hearing.
Mr. Chair, I move that we exit the public hearing.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion on this proposal?
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the request to vacate Sorrel Road as presented and discussed.
Any conversation? Nope. We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. With that being said, this meeting is over and we'll be at recess till 2 o'clock.